Don't scroll away. What I'm about to tell you is a true account of a night that still terrifies everyone who heard it. A story that proves some things are better left undisturbed. Imagine a group of friends seeking refuge in a house they believed was completely abandoned. It was an old stone structure, miles from anywhere, silent and still under the moonlight. They settled in for the night, feeling safe, feeling hidden. They thought their secrets were buried deep, far from the eyes of the world, but they were wrong, so terribly wrong. As the clock struck midnight, the air grew thick and heavy. A strange sound began, faint at first, then growing louder. It was a slow, deep, rhythmic noise. It took them a moment to realize what it was. The walls, the very stone walls around them, were breathing. Inhale, exhale, a sound like a great and ancient lung filling and emptying. It was impossible, but it was happening. Panic began to set in. They checked the windows sealed shut. They checked the doors locked tight. There was no wind, no rational explanation. A cold dread, colder than the stone floor, crept into their hearts. This wasn't just a sound, it was alive. Then, a gust of air, like a phantom wind, swept through the room, chilling them to the bone, and with it came a voice. It didn't come from any corner of the room, but from inside the walls themselves. A dry, rasping whisper that seemed to echo from the dawn of time. It said, "You cannot hide from what God has spoken." Terror gripped them. The shadows in the room began to move. They weren't just shadows cast by the moonlight anymore. They stretched and writhed across the floor, crawling like living, predatory things, reaching for them. Every doorway in the house began to tremble, the wood vibrating as if under immense pressure. Every window pane started to throb with a dull, rhythmic beat, like a monstrous heart. And then, the walls exhaled. A wave of hot, heavy, furious air washed over them, carrying a scent of dust and judgment. It was in that moment of pure, undiluted fear that a forgotten verse surfaced in their minds, a warning they had long ignored. Be sure your sin will find you out. They finally understood. It wasn't the house that had come alive. It wasn't a ghost or a random haunting. It was their own conscience, their own buried sins, given form and voice by a power they could no longer deny. The house was merely a stage for a judgment they thought they had escaped. They had run from the world, but they could not run from themselves. And they certainly could not run from the one who sees all. The walls weren't breathing with air. They were breathing with the weight of their unconfessed guilt. And in that terrifying, suffocating silence, they knew their time was up. If this story shook you to your core, let me know in the comments by typing more. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure to follow or subscribe, because the next Biblical Horse Short is coming soon, and you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.